Is she to be buried in Christian burial when she willfully seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is. Therefore make her go straight. The crown I have sat on her finds it Christian burial.
But how can that be, unless she drowned herself in her own defense?
Why, 'tis found so.
It must be se offendendo, it cannot be else. For here lies the point. If I drown myself, it argues an act. And an act hath three branches. It is to act, to do, and to perform. Argal, she drowned herself wittingly.
Nay, hear you, but good man Delver.
Give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands a man. Good. If the man go to this water and he drown himself, it is will he, nil he goes. Mark you that. But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. Argal, he who is not guilty of his own death shortens not his own life.
What is this law?
Aye, very is his. Crowner's quest law.
Well, you have truth on it. If this had not been a gentlewoman, then she should have been found a Christian burial.
Why, there thou sayest. And the more pity great folk should have countenance in this world, to drown or hang themselves, more than they're even Christian. There is no ancient gentleman, but gardeners, ditchers, and grave diggers. Let's hold up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman?
I was the first that ever bore arms.
Why, he had none.
What? Art thou a heathen? How dost thou understand the scripture? The scripture says, Adam digged. How could Adam dig without any arms? I'll put another question to thee. If thou answers me not to the purpose, confess thyself.
Go to.
What is he that builds stronger than the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gallows maker, for that frame outlives 1,000 tenants.
I like they wit well. In good faith, the gallows does well. But how does it well? It does well to those that do ill. Now, thou dost ill to say that the gallows is stronger than the church. Argal, the gallows may do thee well.
Who builds
To it again, come.
Who builds stronger than a mason, a shipwright, or a carpenter?
Aye, tell me that and unyoke.
Mary, I can tell.
To it.
Mass, I cannot tell.
Cudgel thy brains no more about it, for your dull ass cannot mend his pace with beating. And when you are asked this question next, say, a grave maker. The houses he makes last until doomsday. Go, get thee in and fetch me a stoop of liquor. In youth, when I did love, me thought it was very sweet.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business? He sings in grave making. Custom hath made it in him a property of disease. 'Tis e'en so. The hand of little employment hath the daintier sense.
Stealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch, and hath shipped me into the land as if I had never been such.
That skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground as if it were Cain's jawbone, that did the first murder. This might be the pate of a politician, which this ass now o'erreaches. One that would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Or of a courtier, which could say, Good morrow, sweet lord. How dost thou, sweet lord? This might be my lord such a one that praised my lord such a one's horse when he went to beg it, might it not?
Aye, my lord.
Why, e'en so. And now my lady worm's chapless, and knocked about the mazzard with a sexton's spade. Here's fine revolution, and we had the trick to see it. Did these bones cost no more the breeding but to play at loggets with them? Mine aches to think on it.
A pickaxe and a spade for and a shrouding sheet. Oh, a pit of clay for to be made for such a guest as me.
There's another. Why may not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddities now, his quillities, his cases, his tenors, and his tricks? Why does he suffer this mad knave now to knock him about the sconce with a dirty shovel, and will not tell him of his action of battery? This fellow might be in his time a great buyer of land, with his statutes, his recognizances, his fines, his double vouchers, his recoveries. Is this the fine of his fines and the recovery of his recoveries, to have his fine pate full of fine dirt? Will his vouchers vouch him no more of his purchases, and double ones too, than the length and breadth of a pair of indentures? The very conveyances of his lands will scarcely lie in this box. And must the inheritor himself have no more, ha?
Not a jot more, my lord.
Is not parchment made of sheepskins?
Aye, my lord, and of calfskins too.
They are sheep and calves which seek out assurance in that. I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave's this, sirrah?
Mine, sir. Oh, for a pit of clay for to be made for such a guest as me.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
Thou dost lie on it, sir, therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it, to be in it and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
'Twill a quick lie, sir, 'twill away again from me and you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
No man, sir.
What woman then?
None neither, sir.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is. We must speak by the card, or the equivocation will undo us. By the Lord, Horatio, this 3 years I have took note of it. The age is grown so pricked that the toe of the peasant comes so near the heel of the courtier, he gulls his kide. How long hast thou been gravemaker?
Of all a day in the year, I came to it the day our last King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the day young Hamlet was born. He that is mad and sent into England.
Aye, Mary. Why was he sent into England?
Because he was mad, and he shall recover there. If he does not, 'tis no great matter.
Why?
'Twill not be seen in him there. There the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely.
Faith, e'en in losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark, I have been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Faith, if he had not rotten before he die, as we have many poky corpses nowadays, that will scarce hold the laying in. He will last you some 8 or 9 year. A tanner will last you 9 year.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned with his trade that he will keep out water a great while. And your water is a sore decay of your horse and dead body. Here's a skull, sir, that hath lain in the earth in the earth.
Whose was it?
A whore's son, mad fellow as it was. Who do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. He poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. The same skull, sir, was your skull, the king's jester.
This?
Aye, in that.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, and of most excellent fancy. He hath bore me on his back 1,000 times, and now how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your guides now, your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar? Not one now to mock your own grinning? Quite chapfallen? Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Pry thee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked all the fashion in the earth,
E'en so.
and smelt so? Ha!
E'en so, my lord.
To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till he find it stopping a bunghole?
'Twere to consider too curiously to consider so.
No faith, not a jot, but to follow him thither, with modesty enough and likelihood to follow. As thus, Alexander died, Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth to dust. The dust is earth. Of earth we make loam, and why of that loam whereto he was converted, might they not stop a beer barrel? Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that that earth which kept the world in awe should patch a wall to expel the winter's flaw. Susan.